Hi there guys, I just wanted to give you a quick update as to what happened at the meeting that I had with Deliveroo for the union on Friday. So I'm going to have to refer back to some notes a few times, but I wanted to give you as much information as I can about what happened, what we discussed and what the possible outcomes are. So one of the first things we talked about, and one of the most important things of course, was pay and fees. So ahead of the meeting, I did a bit of research using some volunteers. We looked into about 2,600 orders, and we delved right into the stats of each order, and we worked out which ones paid above the pay floor and which ones paid below the pay floor. And what we found was that in about 1 out of every 5 orders weren't paying the pay floor correctly. In fact, it was about 79%. Were paying the pay floor, and about 21% point something were not paying the pay floor. So we've given Deliveroo this information, and they've agreed to a certain extent, to the amount that they will agree, that the system is not perfect, and they have committed to investing in making sure the estimates for what they're expecting the time on order to be are more correct and in line with what actually happens in real life. There are a few other things in the pipeline coming, but nothing I can share with you just yet. But as said, they have committed to that. And I've also followed up with a few other things, like I know a lot of people are being sent for orders earlier than the estimated ready time. That was something I discussed but didn't have any examples ready, so I found an example and I've sent it off to them, and they're going to look into why it is that quite often we've been sent to orders early, and hopefully we can get that eliminated, which in turn will increase pay indirectly, hopefully at least. So when it comes to restaurant waiting time, this is one of the main things that's a contributing factor to the pay floor not working correctly. Is the estimates just not estimating enough time for waiting at the restaurant. So this is something that we as a union are prioritising to say to Deliveroo, basically it's not good enough, and we want to have something in place where people can get some money back. So that's something that we're committed to pushing with Deliveroo. We haven't quite got there yet with that. But yeah, that's another thing we did discuss with them. So tying in a little bit of that is wasted journeys. So I spoke to them a little bit about wasted journeys and how, if an order's been stolen, riders are constantly being sent there, and it's just not good enough that nobody's getting any money for this. So what they have confirmed in this meeting is that if anybody has a wasted trip, and they can prove to Deliveroo it's wasted trip, so I would advise that you take some screenshots of the order number, etc. If you get to the restaurant's closed, maybe take a picture. If you can prove to them that you've had a wasted trip, do a fee query form on the website, and they should reimburse £2. So that's something that I know was there before, but I feel like disappeared. But yes, you can apply for them to put by using the fee query form for £2 back for wasted journeys. So make sure you do that. So the next thing we discussed was order transparency. So in an ideal world, what we'd like to see is ahead of time, an estimated time that it would take for you to complete the order, mileage, total mileage, what is in the order, so that you can work out if it's too bulky, if you're on a bicycle, etc. So far what we've managed to commit Deliveroo to doing, and what they are trialling in France at the moment, is to show mileage ahead of time. They sounded quite positive about this, so this might well be something they introduce in the UK as well, but we will continue to press forwards to get as much transparency excuse me, but both ahead of time, so before you accept the order, and as well after the order. So we'd like them to provide as much information as possible after the order. So basically what you've delivered, how long it took, how many miles, etc, etc. Next thing we spoke about was rider insurances. So this is something that actually I was fairly shocked. They shared all the information they have as to how many people have successfully applied for the insurance policies they have in place. They reiterated that they want to make sure that people are aware that they can apply for, and hopefully they are applying for, especially if they're ill or if they've had a new child. The insurances are in place. I have made some videos about this, which I'll pop up here so you can have a look and hopefully go and find them if you could apply. So just to put it in perspective, they estimate there's about 70,000 active careers at the moment. In the last 24 months, only 133 people have applied for the sickness benefit. Only 72 for the personal accident benefit. 456 for new parent benefit. Hopefully a little bit of that is me pushing a video out there, but we never know. And then 392 successful claims for third-party liability. One thing I'll say about these benefits is I know when you go to apply, especially at the start with the sickness one I'm just thinking about in particular, the first page you see is like 1 of 56, and I know a lot of people, they get a bit like, not intimidated, but they think, oh, is it really worth the effort of going through 56 pages of application? What I can say to you is the full form itself takes no more than about 15-20 minutes to apply for. And with Deliveroo, I think I've applied 6 times and I've received it 5 times. So yeah, it's definitely worth applying for. Please, if you're ill, if you're sick and you can't work, and it's more than 7 days, make sure you're applying for it. Because all they can say is no. All the insurance company that Deliveroo have instructed can say no. They can't take your account away or whatever. It's yeah. So make sure you're applying for the sickness new child policies, definitely. So the last thing I want to talk to you about is what we spoke about with substitutions and account renting. So we did speak about some other things, but it's just small things that you can read about when the email comes out. But around substitutions, I want to read to you exactly what has been decided, like the wording. So it says, the National Committee's position is that the use of substitutes is too open to exploitation of vulnerable people who are not able to gain an account of their own. In some areas, the numbers of riders operating as substitutes also means there aren't enough orders to go around and fees are reduced as a result. So that's, as the GMB, our position on it. So Deliveroo are saying that they continue to roll out processes to ensure that substitutes are registered. GMB members should know that if you are substituting an account out, you are responsible for the actions of the substitute. Another thing they did say was basically they are trying to close loopholes left, right and centre. At the moment it's in their interest to make sure that there's no account renting going on as well. It's something that they're definitely trying to crack down on. They said that they want to increase the amount of the selfie checks, and they're looking at using new software to do that as well. So yes, substitutions and account renting is something that is not going to go away overnight. It's something that's part of the we are not workers kind of business model to a certain extent. So it's something, substitutions is something that's always going to happen, but I think the whole account renting thing is going to be weeded out sometime in the near future, hopefully. But that's about all I've got to share with you. I'm sorry, it's just a quick off the cuff kind of video. My wife's away at the moment, so I've got 4 kids upstairs. But if you've got any questions at all, please feel free to pop it in the comment section down below. I shall get back to it as many people as I physically can. But other than that, guys, all I want to say to you is hope you're having a cracking evening or cracking morning whenever you watch this, and stay safe out on the road. Cheers, catch you next time. Bye bye.